Hey, what is going on, guys? This is SMEV Reviews, and today we're going to do something a little different. I really wanted to do a year-end list, but I didn't really review enough albums, I feel, this year. I only started in May, and then starting in May, I really only did maybe the albums that I was really wanting to come out, the ones I was excited about. And then not until, about late August, early September did I really get serious, and eventually after that I got into like the swing of like 2 albums a week, which is what I was trying to do near the end. And so there were a lot I missed. So I did pick up a couple of them near the end of the year. The past 3 or 4 videos, I think, have been a little catch up. Just trying to get some of those albums I missed I was really wanting to get to. But regardless, I still missed a lot of albums. And I think next year I do want to do more along the lines of my favorite albums of the year. But this year, I just didn't feel that we should do that. So this time we're going to do the 10 best hit songs of 2017. Yes, we are doing hit songs. Original, right? Well, I don't care. What's the criteria? All it has to do is it has to be on the Billboard Hot 100 year-end list. That's all artists can be duplicated. It does not matter. As long as it was on that list, it is eligible for this list. Besides that, it's just whatever songs I feel were the most interesting, coherent, and really are the songs that I revisited. I didn't have too much of a problem, honestly, with this top 10 just because all these songs are songs I've looked up and explored in my own free time. So, but I had about 12 songs that I was down to, so I just had to cut it down a little bit. This list was not very hard, luckily. But yeah, so it just has to be whatever ones are the most coherent and really enjoyable at their core. No real criteria, just whatever I like the best and think are the best songs. So yeah, overplay may kill songs. Songs that may have originally got on this list, if I overplayed it, then they're not going to make it. Such as It Ain't Me by Kygo and Selena Gomez. I mean, I really enjoyed that song, but overplay killed it for me. But then again, if a song dies because of overplay, is it really that good? This year was great for music. There was a ton of good music released. I really enjoyed a lot of stuff. But unfortunately, Billboard didn't seem to pick that up too much. Like I said, there were about 12 songs I absolutely love and do explore in my own time and actually really enjoy. Those were all really good, and I did even have a short list of about 20 songs when I first went through. But besides those 20, there just wasn't anything interesting, nothing that really piqued my interest. So there are a lot of just meh songs on this Billboard list, but as I've said, these songs are actually extremely good. None of these were just thrown on there to have some placeholder. These are actually really good songs. But I've rambled enough. Let's get to the list.
And every time you hurt me, the less that I cry. And every time you leave me, the quicker these tears dry.
Barely scraping in and definitely fighting its way in is Too Good at Goodbyes by Sam Smith. This song is probably a case of overexposure for me. I honestly really did enjoy this song when it came out, and it really did interest me. But the problem is that in my personal life, in my friend group, I have a lot of people that I'm close to that are really big fans of Sam Smith. So after his big hiatus, there was a new song released, and so everyone seemed to jump on it. And so I just had to listen to that song for a whole month before the second single even came out, and after that, there were only 2 singles out for about another month. So this song really just was probably a case of overexposure, and at this point I am just a little tired of it. I was never really a huge fan of Sam Smith, but this song actually did win me over. It really is a good song, and despite my overexposure, I am still interested in it, and it is still a good song. It probably would have been higher if it was not for that. I mean, this song really did hold up with overplay. Sam Smith has a crazy voice. It's extremely powerful, both emotionally and just with its actual power in it. He has an amazing range, which while a lot of people don't really like his transitions into his falsetto, I actually think they work really well. And his voice just complements the keys so well in this song. This song is absolutely wonderful, and it really does. It showcases him so well. Now, this song was not the best on the album, honestly. I actually did like a couple songs on the album, and this is not the best. That one would have to go to Him. Oh my gosh, Him is so good. I cannot even express that enough, but enough of that. It really is just a beautifully touching song. it really is just Sam Smith saying why he's afraid of exposing himself because he's just afraid of getting hurt and he's just used to seeing people leave. And it really is a touching and moving song, and it just makes you want to sit in your room and cry. Wait, did I just say that? It was an excellent lead-off single, and it was an excellent return for Sam Smith. Bravo. It really was a great song. Well, this song being on the list might shock everybody.
I don't wanna be alive. I don't wanna be alive. I just wanna die today. I just wanna die.
Yes, 1-800-273-8255 by Logic featuring Alessia, Cara, and Khalid made this list. So before I get any of those angry comments, let me explain to both parties that are probably mad about this. So, to the people who have watched my videos, yes, I have said that I'm not a huge fan of hip-hop, and that's true, but it's not, honestly, even though I probably have misconstrued my information with hip-hop, I actually don't hate hip-hop. I do like some of the songs, but I think it has to be a certain type of hip-hop. The reason I don't really review it is because I don't know enough about the genre. It's never been my forte, and I just don't... I feel like if I did a review, I couldn't say very much about it. I'd just say whether I liked it or not. But yes, I do actually like hip-hop songs, and even on the short list, I had about 5 hip-hop songs that made the list, which that just shows that I actually do like it. I just think my biggest problem is just modern trap music. But that explanation of why I don't know very much is also an explanation to the people that seem to not like this song. Yeah, I do like this song. I think it has a nice melody, and it might differ from Logic's style a little bit, but I think it's a really beautiful song. And so for the people that don't like this song, that do really like hip-hop, I don't care. It's a really good song. I think that it has so many redeeming qualities. The fact that this song even exists is valiant. I mean, that number is the suicide prevention hotline number, and this song follows the narrator as he calls this number, and that alone is just a very interesting concept to me. And then you take that, and he played this at the VMAs, Logic did, and after that night, calls to that number rose 50%, and that is amazing. And just the fact that he was able to spread this number through his music is absolutely beautiful, and it makes it deserves to be on this list because of it. Yeah, I know I haven't mentioned the music yet, and yes, I'm getting to it, and I honestly think the music holds up, but that fact alone, the fact that it's done so much good and has raised calls to the number so much is absolutely beautiful and just makes it deserving of this list. This is a heavy topic. I mean, it really is, and the music, I think, complements it perfectly. If this was a piano ballad, it would have just probably made it a little too melodramatic, and while, yes, it's an extremely emotional and devastating feeling to feel and just tells these really raw emotions, I think it also wouldn't have worked as well. I think the fact that it sounds a little more upbeat, or at least has a little drive behind it, really works. And plus, the point of this song is to raise awareness in general, and the fact that it was a hip-hop beat, which is very popular right now, was very smart just because it is a hip-hop song which is popular, which was able to make this song a little more popular in the charts, which in turn raised awareness for the number. And that was perfect. I think it complements the song and just the purpose of the song so well. And honestly, I feel like Logic's vocals are perfect in this song. Yes, he's not probably the best singer I've ever heard, not by a long shot. He has a lot of shortcomings in his singing, but I think it works because it does sound a little... It doesn't sound perfect. And with someone who's calling this number, they're not going to be feeling perfect either. And I think that just worked so well. And that we haven't even got to the best part of the song, which is Khalid. Honestly, I'm not a huge fan of Khalid. Anyone that knows me knows that. I'm just don't really personally love his music too much. I do think he has an interesting voice, but it's not always for me. But in this song, it's absolutely gorgeous. His voice just sounds absolutely beautiful and has so much power behind it. It really will... If you have not already got to tears when watching the music video or listening to it, his voice can really get you all the way there. So yeah, I don't care if you guys don't think this song is perfect, because I think it has so much good to it. And just for the purpose of the song alone, it deserves a place on this list. You know, I never really liked One Direction. And I know a lot of people actually really did. I know they're not popular in the critic realm, but also they had a huge following. And honestly, I never really liked them. I think they had some good songs, and they were fun pop. I mean, if anything that I can give them, they were fun pop. But I'm glad they broke up, and I'll say that over and over again because they broke up, we were given songs like this.
Just stop your crying, it's a sign of the times. We gotta get away from here.
Yeah, you hear that? That is the sound of an artist making music they love. And in this case, it's dang good. I haven't loved everything that every One Direction member has made. But for the most part, I'm enjoying it, and I think that it's really interesting to hear where they've all gone. Niall went folk pop. Zayn went that R&B route. And then Harry here, he's going for that classic rock, soft rock feel. And boy, does it work for him. His voice just soars through this track. It's absolutely gorgeous. It has so much power and so much presence. And I mean, the music video is of him flying, and I honestly think it's so fitting just because that's exactly what his voice does. It just takes off, and it does so much within this song. That's not talking about the amazing guitars, the piano, the strings, any of it. Everything works so well. It all comes together, and it really, whenever it hits that high point in the song and at the very last chorus, it's transcendent because it has so much power. It is so interesting just hearing Harry do that. For anyone that saw my review of his album, honestly, no, I didn't like it too much. It was alright, but it was not my favorite album by any means. But this song is so wonderful. It is 100% the best track on the album. It's just so beautiful, and I don't think words really do it justice. It's unbelievable that this came from That's What Makes You Beautiful or any of those songs. It's so crazy to think that because he was able to give himself this artistic freedom, that he was able to make music like this. I tried to come up with a joke for this. I thought there could be something good to start off this segment, but I don't have anything. So, What About Us by Pink.
What about us? What about all the times you said you had the answer?
Pink is an artist that really interests me. I think she's very interesting just because she has so much angst, but she's 38 years old, and that's not an insult to her age. It's just so interesting to see the fact that she still has such teenage angst with her age. And so this song, honestly, I think tackles that age and that angst perfectly. It really does talk about questioning God and his authority. And I think that kind of deeper topic really works because, as I said, she is older. So she's using this angst that she has to actually make some kind of statement and do something with it. And I think that's just her maturity and her age coming through. I mean, and her voice at 38 is terrific. It's extremely deep and has so many layers. And I think that it really is an interesting voice that can really do so much. And that's not even talking about the style of music that really blends just traditional pop fun with that EDM sound perfectly. And I think that it all works. It all comes together and it creates one very concise and moving work. It all sounds like Pink is firing on all cylinders, and this is one of my favorite songs off of her most recent release. And it's a pop song that makes a statement. Somehow this song became a hit. Unfortunately, it wasn't too high. But that's still crazy. It's still crazy that we actually got some songs that were making a statement and weren't just about breakups. I really do enjoy this song. It deserves to be on this list, absolutely. This year we were given 2 songs by one artist simultaneously. One of these songs was a wonderful rock song that honestly really expanded this artist, just his skills, and really showed that he could do so much more in the future. And then the other one was kind of awkward, a little clunky, and didn't really work. And guess what? The latter became the hit, and the other one, while obviously was a hit being on this list, just did not seem to do as well somehow. What artist is it? As if you don't already know.
I'm on my way, driving at 90 down those country lanes.
Yes, that amazing rock song, Castle on the Hill by Ed Sheeran, is number 6. And I just wish this had been what Shape of You was, and it should have been. It is so much more interesting, it has so many more layers, and it's really fun. It's just a really good rock song, and it took Ed Sheeran's style and built on it and made something new for him and gave him a new direction, something new he could do instead of just his more acoustic sounds. It could have been a whole new direction for him, and if the entirety of Divide had sounded like this, it would have been amazing. But somehow Shape of You became a number 1 hit, while this song did get high, but kind of fell down and was lost in the middle of the Billboard charts. Regardless, this song is amazing. In a year that we were suffocated by politics, we tried to turn to our music, and what did we get? Just boring trap music. And while obviously a ton of people loved that music, I feel like the majority of people that were turning to music for an escape were also not the people turning to that trap music. And this song just rose above it all. It is a fun escape. It really is. It sounds like a song that you just get in the car and drive to. And that is why this song is just amazing, because it works so perfectly. It's firing on all cylinders. Those guitar sounds are so amazing. And Ed Sheeran, this song is perfect for your voice. You're not slightly out of your range, and while you are kind of straining during the chorus, it works so well. It's just complete escapism, and it's just a fun song. For that reason, that is why it's on this list.
Oh, I've been shaking. I love it when you go crazy. You take all my inhibitions. Baby, there's nothing holding me back.
There's Nothing Holding Me Back is Shawn Mendes' best song yet. The guitar is so alive. The bass gives it such a backbone, and those drums really help it along. And honestly, I don't hate Shawn Mendes' voice. I think that it is really interesting. It is a little nasally, but it's interesting and fun, and I do enjoy it. And this song is just, again, pure fun. It's very similar to Ed Sheeran's song just because it is driven by that guitar, and it's still fun. And this is really just a completely traditional pop song that is exciting and different, and really does do a little bit different for Shawn Mendes. It's not his normal. I feel like his other songs are a little more centered in that pop, but this has just a little bit of rock edge, just a little bit, and that really, it's interesting and enjoyable. Plus, Shawn Mendes just sounds like he's having fun, and that's really important for a song that is fun and a jam out song. It's important for him to sound like he's having fun, and it does. He sounds like he's enjoying this music. Besides that, there's not much more to say. It's just fun. It really does stand out. It's exciting, and I'm going to go back to the word fun because it's fun, and I love this song.
I hope you find your peace, falling on your knees, praying.
We were given a complete change in pace from Kesha. It's something that none of us probably really did expect. It's a very intimate, piano-driven ballad, and that's not what we thought we would get from the party animal that we've seen earlier in the 2000s. But this is a beautiful way for her to go. Her voice is absolutely beautiful, and I think it does work with that piano ballad sound. Not something we would have expected from the party animal, but yet we've got it. And yes, to start this off, I am going to briefly touch on what happened with Dr. Luke, because I think that this is so important to the song. Yes, for those who don't know, there were some sexual abuse charges that Kesha made against him, which she lost in court. And that's about all I'm going to say about it, but I think that that's absolutely vital, because that absolutely taps into why this song is so deserving of this place on the list. This song is absolutely beautiful and completely biting. Kesha sings that, I hope you find your peace, falling on your knees, praying. And she's singing this to Dr. Luke because she's showing her maturity. She's saying she is ready to move on with the situation. No, she will not forget it, and obviously it has really affected her, but she wants to live her life and try to get better. And she's saying that she hopes that he will deal with his demons and become a better person, because while the court didn't rule it, she hopes that he in his heart knows what he did was wrong and will correct that behavior, and she hopes that he will feel bad and turn looking for God or anything higher just to try to find a way to forgive himself. And that's absolutely beautiful. It's mature. It's not childish and just raising a middle finger to someone that you don't like. It's her turning her back and saying, this is done and I'm ready to start a new chapter of my life. It's perfect to be the leadoff single. There was nothing better on that album that could have been the leadoff single. It showed us that this is going to be a new approach for her, a new step in her career, and I love it. This song is wonderful, and that's not even touching on the music. I mean, the story is spine-tingling, but there's so much more to this song. Kesha shows that she has a voice even without auto-tune or a bunch of synthesizers or anything. She has piano behind her that really supports her voice and sounds wonderful with its strings that really push this song along and give it just an even deeper melody. It's a complete earworm, and an earworm for a song that has so much meaning behind it is absolutely wonderful. This song should have been such a big hit, and while it did get big, it unfortunately just did not get high enough, and I hate that because this song is absolutely wonderful.
My left stroke just went viral. Right stroke put a baby in a spiral. Soprano C, we like to keep it on the high note.
Surprise! Another hip-hop song. Told you I didn't hate hip-hop. Humble by Kendrick Lamar is on this list. And spoiler, not DNA. I know a lot of people like DNA and it's on just about everyone's list. But it's not on mine because I like this song better. This song was DNA was very close. It almost bumped off Too Good at Goodbyes. It was in my top 12, which is what I was having the biggest problem with, those last 12 songs, getting 2 of them off. But I like this song better, and I think Humble's better because of that bass line, which is played by a piano sound. And I really do, honestly, I think that is probably one of the primary driving factors because that sound is extremely catchy. And I feel like it's something very interesting. It's not something that I'm used to hearing, and not because I think that it's just this big original sound, but I do have a problem with a lot of trap beats and just that kind of sound. And there are a little bit of that on DNA. Now, yes, I totally realize that very last bit Kendrick Lamar was able to do without actually having a beat done and did it all himself and freestyled it. And it's extremely impressive. But I feel like Humble just is a better song because it's so interesting. Like I said, that bass line really is so catchy. And it's a complete earworm. And I really like Kendrick Lamar's vocal delivery on this. It's a little less rap and a little more just a little singing, sort of. It still is rapping, but it's a little less direct about it. And I feel like I like it better just because it tries to blend that hip-hop and rap sound with a little more pop sounds because it is catchy and a little bit of an earworm. And so I think that's why I like it better, because as who I am, I do obviously have a preference towards pop or rock, that kind of thing. And this song has those pop elements. So I think that's why this song is a preference for me over DNA. I really do like it. I like the content of the song. I like how braggadocious Kendrick Lamar is, even if it's a little satirical and a little aimed at himself. But I think it's interesting. I think that Kendrick Lamar sounds like he's having fun, and there's a lot of really funny jokes in it, and it's funny. It is a funny song, and I do like this song. So yes, this song is on here above DNA. Sorry guys, I like this song better. We are almost there, guys. Very end of the list. Who could beat the hip-hop legend that is Kendrick Lamar? Probably someone with an expansive catalog of amazing music, has done so much incredible songs and such deep lyrics, and is really just perfecting their art now, right? No, it's Charlie Puth.
You've been running around, throwing that dirt all on my name. 'Cause you knew that I'd call you up.
Yeah, it's Charlie Puth, the genius behind Let's Marvin Gaye and Get It On. But in all honesty, I do really feel that this song will be on a lot of year-end lists because it's just so... It's very different for his style. He definitely was just trying to get fans, as he's even said in that wonderful Genius interview. But now he's doing things that he wants to do, and I do really like this direction. And no, it's not just for that incredibly infectious bass line. A lot of people really don't like Puth's falsetto, and I can totally understand that, but for me, it's never really bothered me. I think it's fine. It doesn't... It's interesting, and it's something that's never really got on my nerves. I think it's good, honestly. That's just how I feel about it. This song, honestly, though, it's different from what we hear on mainstream radio, pop radio. It's a little edgy, and that's, while it's happens a lot in hip-hop songs, it's not something that you hear from pop music. And I think that's very interesting to hear, because it is edgy and a little dark and a little gritty. And that bass line definitely helps it, because there's not much to the song besides that bass line and Charlie Puth's vocals. And I think that gives it a little darker and edgier feel. I've heard this song a ton, and it hasn't soured at all, honestly. I still enjoy it just as much. And yes, I'm actually very excited for Voice Notes that'll be coming out in January, and I never thought I'd say that. I mean, I never thought I'd be saying that Charlie Puth is on my best of the year list at all. I did not like any of his other stuff from 9 Track Mind, but this is what he wants to do, and you can tell. And it really is good. Great direction for him.
We should take this back to my place. That's what she said, right to my face.
Yes, the best hit song of the year is Slow Hands by Niall Horan. Absolutely. I knew the day that this song came out that it would be on my best of the year list, and that doesn't matter whether it was a mental list or an actual video. I knew it would be, and I became a Niall fangirl instantly. But it really is an incredible song, and honestly, I feel that the album review for Niall's album is my biggest mistake. Every other one I'm pretty confident in, and even with re-listening, I never have really felt that I should change any of them more than like maybe a 0.5. But Niall's album, I feel like I really did mess up, because I feel like I was looking for something wrong. It is simplistic pop, and yes, I was totally right on that part of it, but I feel like I was just trying to find something wrong, because I knew I loved Niall so much, just because I found it fun myself, and I think I personally wanted it to be worse as a critic. I felt like as a critic I should see this as a bad album. No, it really is a good album, and I should not have been so harsh on it at all. It is good, and while it is simplistic, it's very good, and he has such an interesting use of melody. All of the melodies in those songs are very interesting, and not just, even though a lot of them are based on 4 chords, it just does different things. His voice especially goes some interesting directions, and I do think I should have praised that album a lot more and not been so harsh on it. That was absolutely one of the biggest mistakes I've made, just because I was trying to find something wrong. Now on to Slow Hands. Honestly, no, this folk pop kind of sound is not what I expected from him, but it works so well. His voice, honestly, I feel like is one of the better voices of One Direction, and I feel like it just worked so well to have him coupled with this more acoustic style. It's so exciting and invigorating, and yes, it's fun, and it's not what I expected at all, but yet it still is exactly what I expected, because I thought that it would be the singer-songwriter approach. I just didn't think it would go to the folk direction. But it works. It really does. And Niall's voice sounds absolutely beautiful. And yes, a lot of people probably don't like those vocal pitch shifts, or cutoffs, I guess would be more what they are. And I could see that. But to me, it doesn't really bother me. I think it works perfectly. I think it has a kind of choppy feel, which it kind of works with the guitar and the drum that goes behind it. It gives it that choppy feel. So the vocal cutoffs just really work perfectly with it. And that the guitar, like I said, it's got some fun. It has a kind of a solo, not really a solo, but it's at least driven by more than just a 4-chord strumming. And I think that alone is interesting for a pop song. It's fun. That bass drum really just keeps the song pounding, which, as I said, it is a little choppy, and that's great. It really is. And until you get to that pre-chorus and that chorus, it is choppy, but then when you get there, it's so smooth, and that's on purpose because of the content in the song, which is obviously about some intimate actions, and it gets smoother, and it's just fun. It really is. Horan did an excellent job in this song on his album, and I really shouldn't have been so hard on it. Absolutely the best song of the year. I have no second thoughts, and while a lot of people probably won't agree with it, I will defend it because I think that this song is absolutely wonderful, bouncy, energetic, and bombastic, and it really is an excellent song. Congratulations, Niall, you got my best of the year. Thank you guys so much for watching. What did you guys think of this video? It's definitely something different from me, a little more scripted, a little more, like a couple jokes in there, which is totally not my thing. But what do you guys think? Did you like this approach, just the editing style? What are your thoughts on it? Because this is all new to me. I am definitely experimenting. And this is not something that I'll probably do on all my videos. I mean, I don't feel like some of the time that these approaches will fit in all my videos. But if you do enjoy it, it is something I'd love to consider for either future top 10s or the occasional album review. Just let me know. What do you guys think? What are your top 10? Please let me know. I'd love to hear about them. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you guys later.